Well, hey there again, everybody. Boyd here with you, and welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Model Action Live Hangout on the Bench. We've got a great group of modelers with us tonight, and I've got my buddy Sir Sansalot, a.k.a. Jeremy, with me here tonight, my new shop helper, and he's going to hang out and check out the Hangout. So I'm going to start off with introductions here right away and go to my left and introduce Mr. Armando de la Cabada, otherwise known as Dr. Allclad. How you doing tonight, Armando?
Doing great, boy. Welcome, Sir Sansalot. Good to have you in the fold. My name's Armando de la Cabada. I live in South Florida. You all know me as Armando DLC on the boards, and my channel DLC Model Builders, and working on the Raider tonight, and I completed the Hulk. I'll show you guys when my turn comes up, but I'm happy to be here.
All right, glad to have you on board tonight, Armando, and let's introduce our next panelist, Bob Busking. How you doing tonight, Bob?
Hey, everybody. Working as usual. I got 3 different models going, 4 technically going right now, so we'll get into that in a little bit.
All right, Bob, busy as usual. And then next we got Dave Pashtag. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Hey, Boyd, how you doing? Hello, Sir Sansalot. Nice to meet you. And
He can't hear you guys, but he's. I'll tell him you said hi.
yeah. Anyway, Dave Pashtag. I'm from Grand City, Illinois. I've got a YouTube channel under my name, and just been working on some different projects and having fun.
Cool, Dave. Glad to have you on with us again tonight. And up next we got Jerry Hedgecock, and Jerry operates HDA Model Works. How you doing tonight, Jerry?
I'm doing great, Boyd. Great to see you and everybody tonight. I'm going to turn here and look at the monitor and ask, does Sir Sansalot know what he's getting into with the great Taskmaster there?
No, he doesn't, but he's going to find out.
Well, he's going to have a lot of fun if he likes anything to do with modeling.
I'm going to give him all the hard-to-do stuff.
The only way to learn.
That's true.
All right, glad to have you with us tonight, Jerry. And up next we've got John. I'm sorry I don't know your last name, John, but you're new here on the Hangouts. We're glad to have you on. Introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
My name is John Bishop, and I live in Naperville, Illinois, which is about 60 miles west of Chicago. I'm associated with the Butch O'Hare chapter of our local IPMS. I've just started. You did it to me, Boyd. But
Always to blame, isn't it?
yeah, he's. I mean, I'll bet you. You know, he's got more of these darn refit enterprises started than any single person in history. But I'm one of them, so I'm building that, and I've got about 4 other lifetime projects I'm working on. And it's nice to meet you too, Jerry, because I bought a few things from you already, and I bought some Tenant Control stuff too. So here we go.
Thank you.
So.
All right, spread it around, spread it around. Glad to have you with us tonight, John, and we'll get back to you in a little bit, and maybe you can show us a little bit about what you're working on.
Sure,
and next we got Shannon Freeman. How you doing tonight, Shannon?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How's everybody else?
Good.
Fine and dandy.
Well, I'm Shannon Freeman from Benton, Kentucky, a little bitty old town just south of a place called Paducah, Kentucky, right on the river. Oh, boy. It is. Benton ain't. Benton's right off the Clarks River, but who counts?
All right, Shannon, glad to have you with us. And next we've got Tag. How you doing tonight, Tag?
I'm doing good. Hi, guys. I'm glad to be here. It's finally cooling off here, and right now I'm just checking this out, looking at the sprues.
Oh, wow, you've already got it. That was quick.
Yeah, like I said, between Ralph and Jerry, USPS gets it here pretty quick.
Very nice. For the viewers that might be checking this out, that's the brand new 1000 Reliant kit from, is it AMT Round 2, or are they calling that one a Polar Lights?
Polar Lights.
Polar Lights.
Polar Lights, okay. All right, and next we've got our good friend Ralph Tenaglia from Tenant Controls, and I was on the phone earlier today bugging Ralph about hooking up this little 1000 board we've got going that we're going to show you here in just a minute. But thanks for walking me through that, Ralph. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. I know sometimes those instructions are hard to see, but yeah, like Boyd said, my name's Ralph Tenaglia here in Milford, Massachusetts. We have a company called Tenant Controls, and we provide all sorts of lighting boards and sound boards for you folks. And we're glad to be here.
Glad to have you on with us tonight, Ralph. And anybody that's watching out there, if you guys have any questions about Ralph's boards or anybody else here, you can just send it in through the Q&A, and we'll see if we can get an answer for you. And next we've got Wally Pasternak. How you doing tonight, Wally?
Doing good, Boyd. How's everything?
Doing great, buddy. Enjoying your refit build. I see you got her sealed up the other day.
Yeah, we finally got it sealed up. I've been off for a while. I had some problems here at the house, but we're back in action. And Wally Pasternak runs Starfleet Model Academy, and got a YouTube channel under that name. So, here to answer any questions you guys got for me or anybody else, and glad to be here again.
Glad to have you on with us, Wally. And I love that DLM shuttle bay you put in that model, too.
Oh,
If you guys haven't seen that, check out Wally's YouTube channel and see that build. It's coming along really nice. And
by the way, just want to the new guy is working with you?
say again, Wally?
Who's the new guy working with you? I'm sorry.
Well, his name's Jeremy, but his shop name, his nickname is Sir Sans-a-Lot.
So tell Sir Sans-a-Lot, make sure he knows that you get paid for these builds. It's not for charity work.
Hey,
Yeah. Set on the down low.
easy now. Yeah, no, yeah, hopefully he'll be working as Sir Sans-a-Lot for a little while here, and then he'll move up to Sir Paints-a-Lot and
Yeah.
Decals-a-lot and
Takes out the trash a lot.
Sir Build
And,
a lot.
all the different lots that we have.
I want to
here in
see.
the
I
shop.
want to see him get to Sir Aztecs a lot.
Yeah,
Cuts the grass a lot. Takes out the trash a lot.
he was. I was showing him a little bit of how that works the other day, and he just kind of went like Lurch, like oh. Anyways, guys, let's swing back over to Armando here and see what Armando's got cooking on his bench. The man never sits still. The man never quits painting. He's always busy.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get through this huge stash. Well, tonight I'm doing a little work on my Cylon Raider. Right now I've got the one of the wings glued, and I've got the brackets in place. And I'm working on the cannon. I'm using Jerry's technique with the Q-tips. And I've got Q-tips courtesy of Jerry, who sent me the exact size I need. I've already drilled a hole through the cannon, through the center, and the SMD, the 402 SMD, the blue one, fits right through. I plan on putting it in here and lighting it up, but first I've got to glue it together, and I've got to paint the cannon. So it's a little hard to see because it's a small part.
Yeah.
But that's the tip, and it's got the hole in it, and the SMD fits perfectly. So once I get all this glued together and threaded after I paint it, I'll mount it and then thread the wire through holes that I'm going to do here. I've already planned it out. That's where it goes. I made a hole here, and I'm going to make a hole here on the side, and that's how I'm going to get the wire into the body of the Raider. So that's my plan for tonight. And I've also completed the Hulk. If you like, I can go get it. I can show it to you guys, or I can show it in its display position in my office. Whatever you like.
Yeah, show it.
All right. Let me.
It's really nice.
Let me walk over there and show you guys. All right. Here he is. Move the chair out of the way. All right. You guys see the man?
Yeah, that's pretty tall.
Yeah, he's
He's a mean-looking dude.
like 22 inches, I think. So I finished him up. The shading does a great job emphasizing the muscles. Got the purple color on the pants, and I'm really happy with the way he came out. The eyes, I was so worried about him. I was able to get him fairly well done, I guess. Let's see if I can get him closer. Can you see him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk smash. So
Don't make him angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
that's right. So that's my build for the Heroes build in July at SFMA, and I've already posted the final pics. We'll see what people think of it.
That's outstanding. That's
Yeah,
a
they
final kit.
make a great lamp.
Yeah. If I put some light in it, maybe.
That is.
Get a lampshade to put on
I
top.
make one.
Yeah,
It's about that tall.
Armando,
That
that's
looks
that's
great, Armando.
It's a major award.
Sir Sans-a-Lot says it's cool.
All right. Say thank you.
Armando's our Scotty. He's the miracle worker.
Miracle worker. That's right.
Yeah, and we need it in half the time.
Need half the time.
Oh, and there's the Falcon.
The other baby there, mounted on his base. Looking real good.
It's all right.
That's all right. Some other stuff here. I got to fix the xenomorph. Had a little accident. The leg,
Nope.
the arm fell off.
No drinking while modeling.
That's right.
It's not showing up like.
There we go. Some more stuff there, and that's what I got going on, guys. The refit's sort of on hiatus until I finish the Raider. I want to get the Raider finished first because I'm getting close. Then I want to put some time into the refit. So that's what's going on.
He's mad because I got mine already done.
That's right. Got to get mine done.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I haven't gone any further on mine.
All right, great show, Armando. Some nice models you got going there. I'm going to switch to Bob now. Bob, what have you got going on?
Well, as everybody's probably seen and probably bored with by now, the duck is officially finished.
Oh, goody! It looks wonderful.
Oh man, that's
I'm gonna start on the base here in the next couple of days. Since I got to get in and pick up some supplies for the base, and then I'll be working on it, and I'll be modeling like it's just breaking the surface of the water, taking off.
it's very
Oh,
nice.
Very nice.
I hope
So I got.
you're going to retract the gear when you do that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, they pop in and out, and they actually work. They go up and down.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got 8,000 pictures on the Google communities for you guys to get bored and look at. Working on the shuttle, the dreaded seam filling. I got my red Bondo in there everywhere drying right now, and I picked up out of China. I found it. Ace Corporation 144 scale F5. I couldn't find any T38, so I got to go to F5 and I'll modify it to build the chase plane for the 747 and the shuttle. And then I'm working on the 747, kind of, sort of. That's where we're at tonight.
Cool.
Did we lose Boyd?
I don't know if we did or not.
I'm sorry, I had it muted, guys. Bob, Jeremy was asking
Okay.
what that was. I remember it's a Grumman, but what is it exactly?
Grumman J2F duck. It's an amphibious
It's a Grumman
biplane.
J2F duck. It's an amphibious plane. It can land on the water.
from World War II.
World War II. Yep. Very cool, Bob. Have you posted some pictures of that yet? On your Google?
Yeah, tons of them.
Okay.
And a video on YouTube. And
Excellent.
then when I get started on the base, I'll put it up on the stills on Google. The first one or two would be kind of how it looks when the diorama's done. I went in and photoshopped out the temporary stand that I had on there. And I
Very cool,
used my
Bob.
magic green tile again.
I'll show those to Jeremy when we get done here. He wants to see some pictures of it. Very nice job. Up next,
Thank you very much.
Up next, we've got Dave. And Dave, what are you working on tonight?
Well, Boyd, I started my B9 robot.
Oh,
Oh, you dog.
And
Man,
what
that looks so cool.
what I did was I used
Lost in Space robot.
Mr. Owlclad. I used the Owlclad silver in that. I also bought the Starling board before I knew Ralph was gonna put one together. So what I thought I would do, when me and Jerry were talking, Ralph, is I've got a second kit. So when you get your board going, I'm gonna do a review on both of them. How's that? But
You're muted, Ralph.
You're muted.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, we can have the dueling robots.
yeah. Well, I pre-ordered from Colt, and then I bought one from Jerry, so I got two kits. And like I say, if I knew at the time that you were going to come out with a board, I probably would have waited. But I wouldn't, when that first come out, so I bought the Starlings, but they're using a lot of fiber optics with it, and I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes,
Yeah, as it's taken a while to come to fruition here, but slowly but surely.
But yeah, then maybe later on I'll get your board and then I'll do another one.
Okay, that sounds good. David.
Then I'll do a like a review on both.
Oh.
One I'm gonna leave the arms in. The other one I'm gonna put the arms out, I think, on. So, but that's what I'm working on.
That's cool, Dave. Are you doing? So I'm assuming that you're showing a video build-up of that on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I haven't posted the first section yet. But I will here soon.
All right, looking forward to watching that. Get some tips for when I build mine. That's going to be cool. Okay, up next we got Jerry, and Jerry, it looks like he's probably packing orders. That's what he's usually doing in the evenings.
Well, actually, I'm not. You caught me actually trying to mess with some model stuff, which is highly unusual.
I'm stunned.
It's not what I usually do this time of day. As Tag mentioned earlier, I just want to make sure everyone realizes this kit's out on the market finally. And
yeah, that's nice.
Last night I was on with Dave and had got finished with most of the work, so Dave is like really good to get on to me that I need to do some modeling, so I actually started working on the Reliant. So I've got this one started up. I'm just going to get it all assembled. I'm not going to do any and paint it. I'm not going to do any decal work until the Aztec decals come out. But I have to say, it's 1,000 scale. It's a nice size to work on if you want a little display model. So far, pretty much everything about it is really good. The pylons actually connect pretty decently. You have to be a little careful with them, but it is a snap kit, and it snaps together quite nicely. In fact, the saucer goes down really well and everything. You don't even have to glue, and it pops in and locks the seams, and there's no gaps at all. But it's good to put a little glue on there anyway. One of the things I wanted to bring up tonight is as another kit, and Armando and I have received the 350NX conversion kit from Howling Wolf Models, and I'm sure Armando may want to jump in on this and everything, but I wanted to show everybody. Here's one of the part pieces for the obviously the secondary hull, and what's really unique about this kit, and I've seen a lot of resin kits over my time. This kit has receiving pins.
Wow.
That made up on it so that you can put it together with very little effort to get the hull halves to go together on the secondary hull, which is very impressive. Also, I have looked over mine from stem to stern, and on the outside of the kit, I have found 0 pinholes whatsoever. The casting is very crisp, very clean, and it's just outstanding. But obviously you get the secondary hull components. You get nacelle pylon extensions for the upper and lower pylon extensions. The pylon extensions to get up in the nacelles, you can replace the kit part and running from the secondary hull has brass tubes inserted in them, rectangular tubes, so that you can actually run wiring up through these, which is really nice. A lot of the other kit parts, this is another one, I forget what this is called on the NX, but it's, I think, part of the plasma generation or something like that. And it too has receiving pins to go together. And the castings are really, really nice. Let me turn out that light so you can see some of the detail on the parts.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Really crisp and clean. And now this is what amazed me. This is one of the parts that really amazed me. Now this is the deflector. And this is super thin for a resin cast part. And Kip did a wonderful job on this. This is perfectly round. When you set it down on the table, it's perfectly flat. There's no distortion or warps on it whatsoever. I mean, it's just excellent work. And you get that. You also get with the kit 2 of these nacelle caps that go on top of the nacelles. You get this part of the deflector, the inner housing, as well as a whole bunch of little parts, including a new front deflector to go on the front of the kit. Now you use this conversion kit as with the NX kit from Polar Lights Round 2. You get a decal sheet with it for the decals. Everything about this, I've looked at Doug Drexler's 3D renderings of what the ship was going to look like for the refit version in the next season if it had not been canceled. And I mean, the detail and everything is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, now that the light's not blaring that out, I can show you. It's very crisp, very clean on the details. It's just exceptionally well done.
One thing I like that I see already is the windows are slightly relieved in there, so you got a guide for cutting them out.
You can cut those out without having any problems. It's been well thought out in relation to drilling that stuff out for the modeler. You also get parts to go in the docking ports. That's in that bag with all the little parts that I had just a moment ago. You get a instruction guide. And this is not your normal resin kit. A lot of resin kits you don't even get instructions. You just got to figure out how to put it together. But this is fully illustrated for the modeler, step by step. Besides illustration, it tells you exactly what you need to do, where all the parts go, what works in conjunction with the kit parts. I mean, it's just exceptionally well done. To be honest, it's one of only a handful of resin kits I've ever seen that have come with such wonderful instructions.
It reminds you of a styrene kit, to be honest. It doesn't even look like a resin kit.
That's absolutely correct, Armando. And then he gives you a guide on placement of the decals for on the model. So I mean, it's just exceptionally well done. I'm very, very impressed with it. Now this kit is available from Howling Wolf Models. It's $195 plus shipping and handling, which is pretty. A lot of people would say that's pretty steep, but I have to say that the quality of the castings and everything is up there with some of the absolute best I've ever seen. Kip has done a fabulous job on this kit, and when you get a lot of resin kits, the parts you have to heat up. You've got to bend them back in shape. They pulled out of the molds too soon or whatever. There's pinholes all over them, so you have to do a lot of work on the finishing on the model. But I can tell you, and I know you can't see everything on video, but this is just perfect. The secondary hull, for an example, is just perfect on the outside. And the quality of the casting, the walls of the castings are very even all the way around. The thickness of the casting is pretty much identical all the way around. It's just exceptionally well done.
That's nice, Jerry. Yeah, I'd like to see either you or Armando, since you have the kits, do a little video where we could see it more clearly, and then maybe talk about what it says about modifying the existing parts that come with the original kit. I'm assuming you've got to modify some parts, especially like on the saucer to get it to connect to the neck and all that.
Yes, there's some kit modifications of it that are required.
Yeah, I'd like to see I'm sure a lot of people would like to see a video on that.
Armando and I have been talking about that. So from myself or Armando, one of us will definitely be getting a video out shortly on this.
Excellent. All right. Okay, well, thanks for showing that, Jerry. You have anything else you want to talk about?
Well, last week, Eric had asked questions about these LED beads, and I've got that I'm considering offering as part of my inventory all the time. In fact, he went ahead and twisted my arm and bought some from me. But you know, he asked the question about, I think, about brightness or something like that. I got one of them wired up here, and let's see if I can bring it online. Well, I thought I had it wired up. Give me just a second. Sorry about this. That's what I get for turning stuff off. Well, I'll have to come back and show it in a minute after everyone else because I need to find out what's wrong.
Okay, Jerry.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, we're going to go to John next. And John, I think you mentioned that you're working on an enterprise refit build.
Yeah, I am. I'm on video 5 or 6 though, so I'm way behind you guys. You can see this is so far. I kind of went with silver on the inside for light blocking. I don't know if that's gonna. If anybody tells me I shouldn't do that, I guess I could paint over it. Getting the got the photo etch in the back there. Taking off the phasers. That's kind of where I am. I'm just doing the lighting around the windows, and it'll be continuing on. It's kind of nice, you know. It's like binge watching a series. You know, I can work as fast as I can work. I don't have to wait for the next video to come out.
Well, it looks good, John.
Yeah, thank you. But like I said, I have like 5 lifetime projects. I have on my bench. I have a 1-200 Bismarck, a 1-200 Missouri behind that, and
oh man,
yeah, with all the
Bismarck.
With all the photo
my favorite.
And oh, I mean, they're going to be gorgeous. But I have to do, and I have. I didn't start out to be a germophile, but I got 1/16 King Tiger over there too. So
oh, nice.
I figure I'd show you this. This is my really crazy project. This is a scratch-built truck for a tender. It's all metal, and it's based. There's a book by a guy. His name is Kozo Hirooka, and he's a Japanese engineer who loves steam engines, and he designed and built these models. But then he taught himself enough English to actually teach somebody else how to build them, and that guy he's a genius. But look it up on Amazon if you're interested. Kozo Hirooka. He's an awesome engineer, and you know, every time I go a new step on this, it's a tool I don't have, a technique I haven't tried, or you know, something else. So the good news is, if you screw it up, you just can try again. But
that's beautiful. So that's just the part of it, right? That you're there's like a platform that goes on top and everything else?
There's a frame. I mean, there's 2 of these for the tender, and that's just for the thing that goes behind the locomotive, and they start you off on that rather than, you know, and all the. I mean, when this is done, it's an operating steam engine. It'll actually run. You know, so it's going to be cool.
Is that a 7.5-inch gauge?
It's much smaller than that. It's about 3.5, 4 inches. I have to go measure it. I forgot what it is, because I don't care. I'm just following the plans and the thing. I don't really expect to run it anywhere. Although we do have there is a club out by us that does live steam that I could probably go run it someday. You know, when it gets that far, but that's far enough in the future. I don't think I have to worry about it too much.
Well, that's really nice work, John. Thanks for showing that. Looking forward to seeing some more of that down the line.
All right, well, look, I gotta. You got me going. This is my my sidetrack right now. So I gotta work on this.
Well, it's looking really good. All right, I'm gonna go to Shannon next. And Shannon, last time we saw you, you were working on the 2500 scale Enterprise C. How did that one come out?
Oh, that came out great, boy. Hang on a second, I'll go get it. Oh, boy. I do so many projects, I forget which one I was working on last week. Oh, there it is. See.
Oh, it looks great. Oh, the decals look wonderful.
Yeah, and they all came in the box.
Nice.
I don't break it.
Pretty much wallpapered, right? The whole model?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's very nice.
Yep.
Yep, the 20... Oh, go ahead, Shannon, I'm sorry.
I said, while I was waiting getting that done, I was going to do this one a little better, but I couldn't do it right. I messed up, so I got the NX01 here done.
Nice.
Scale.
Nice.
Nice little fleet going on there.
Oh, I usually do.
I love that ship, Shannon.
Which one? Both of them or one of them?
The NX01.
Oh, you like the NX01. This is the refit. The one
That's Ralph's favorite.
That's Ralph's favorite?
Okay. Yeah, that's a mean ship. I like it.
Easy now.
It's long and sleek. Looks like it kicked somebody's ass, but that's just my opinion. It's usually running around here, but I had to get all that put back up. Oh, my. Now, as soon as I get these decals straightened up, I'll work on this dumb thing.
D.
25. I made a mistake today and tried to put one. I put one decal down right, but then I got the other one to get ready to do it, and it said, and it tore up on me. So that was the end of that idea. So I got to see if I can get some replacement decals from round 2 to fix this. It's that lovely. It's cheaper than buying them, let me tell you.
Yeah, they'll usually send you out a new set.
Yeah, if you mess it up. You got to get all the paperwork right for them, though, or they don't.
I've got to get a saucer top replaced on a 350 refit, and the saucer top on my extra kit here, there's a big dip in it right where the forward phaser bank is. First one I've seen like that was bad.
Ouch. That's not good.
Well, hopefully they'll get me a new one.
Ah, surely they will. You may have to wait a week or 2 to get it.
Yeah, just tell them to run your credit card.
Yeah. I'd be happy to do that.
Well, they'll see how many you've bought.
Yeah. Well, there I can do pretty good. All right, let's move on to Tag now, and let's see what Tag's working on this week. What do you got going on, Tag?
No, I'm still working on the X-Wing, the 148 fine molds, and I've gotten all my little, sub-assemblies getting ready to paint. It took a while to get all the seam lines off the rods here, because I went back and forth as to whether I wanted to do them in actual styrene rod or just leave them the way they are. And they're actually pretty straight, which is not common. So spent a lot of time just fixing those up, and my engines, of course, they're going to have lights in them. Let me see if I have a something dark here that'll light that way. I don't know. Can you see?
Yeah,
Well, there's holes.
I can see the little bit of detail there in the center.
Oh yeah,
There we
look
go.
at
There it
that.
is. Yeah.
Yep. Holes.
Oh,
Yeah, that took a while.
Yeah.
Well, to cut out the circle ones aren't bad, but to cut out the angle ones, it's a little more difficult. And it took me a couple of days on and off. And of course, with some of Jerry's lights,
Very nice.
yeah, so they'll have the red flickering lights in there. So everything's pretty much prepped now for some primer tomorrow. I'll get some primer on it, then I'm going to put the lights in, then light the cockpit, and then I'm still going to weather stuff separate before I put it all together, because it'll be easier to get inside the wings and stuff like that. But she's probably about, let's see, what is this, the 14th? She's probably about 2 weeks away from getting it
Nice
done by the 31st.
Very nice tag. Looking forward to that, and I'm assuming you're putting up pictures and updates and stuff on the Google site and all that. Have you started doing any YouTube videos yet?
No, I got a camera earlier this week, and I haven't played with it too much, and got a tripod. But I got sidetracked and had other stuff I had to do the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm just now getting back to this. I have pictures that I've taken in case I decide to just skip video on this one and just do the picture thing, the picture route. But I have pictures of how I did all the exhausts, how I cut out all the holes and everything on the exhausts. So I may post that tomorrow, just so it's there and people can check it out.
Excellent.
But she's coming along.
All right, good to see that one tag. I'm going to move on now to Ralph and see what Ralph's got going on in the world of electronics at Tenna Controls. What's going on, Ralph?
You know, we're working on a few things as always. We've been busy with working on getting the order out for Steve at Cult TV Man, of course, and working on the robot, the B9 robot, and a few other things. We've been in conversations. We started today with hopefully a new museum that will be going up in Washington, D.C. It's the Museum of Science Fiction, and so we're talking with them about potentially helping them out on some lighting and controls for that. So that was very exciting and interesting. And the usual stuff, a lot of that little 1/44 scale Forbidden Planet board that's taken off like a rocket. Every day we get orders for those, so we've been trying to fulfill it. Obviously people like the effect, and glad they did, so that worked out well. And in the near future, once we get the robot done, we have to work on that resin kit for the saucer for the thing. That would be interesting to work on my first resin kit. And you know, there's a few other things going down the line, and we'll see what else transpires in the next month.
Very cool, Ralph. Well, I'm glad to hear that the C57 kit's doing well. I knew it would. That's a popular model, one of the great classic flying saucers of all time, so that's excellent news.
Yeah, it goes together very nice. I love that kit. I got to send the actual kit back to Mark and thank him, Mark Osborne, for sending it to me so we can look at it and try to come up with the best effect, at least solid state wise, and proved out to be good.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, Ralph, well, we'll probably get back to you here with some questions in a little bit. I'm going to move on to Wally here and see what Wally's got going on in his shop. What you got going on, Wally?
Oh, we got a rare and unusual treat. I had somebody actually contact me to build a Veldor, a Raven Star Veldor. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what they look like. They're the Romulan Warbird from Nemesis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's a resin kit, and it's quite big. It's actually, the wingspan is 23 inches.
Wow.
It's put together. Here's what the profile is.
Oh.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
The head does come off. It's a separate piece. And if I can do this, without breaking anything here. Let's see, do I get this forward? Yes. Here's an idea what the wingspan is on it. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
going to be
wow.
nice. Nice
That's
sized.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that set up where you can do any lighting on it, Wally, or is it just a build?
No, it's a solid resin cast. And I was looking at trying to get at it where you can do some lighting, but if you do, you mess up any of the detail that's on this thing, because it's the markings that they put on here are really crisp. I'll hold this up. This is the wing. I'm trying to get an angle on it. They did a lot of nice etch work on here. It's super. Now this kit was put out by Raven Star. It's a 1400 scale. They're far and few between. Because they're out of production. However, they went out of production about a year ago. I'm trying to talk to the guys that own this particular model and see if I can go ahead and put out some castings of it.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
as soon as I get the okay from them guys, we'll be back. It'll be back out in production. But I don't want to step on anybody else's toes out there in the modeling world and use their design on it without getting in trouble on them or have to owe them money for it. But that's the head of it. Let's see here. I got glare on there, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's nice.
Looks good.
Yeah. It's the head. The head itself is. Let's see here. If you go on, what is it? Not Trek Meddler. Yeah, what the heck's the name of that site? Trying to think of it now. Starship Modeler.
Starship Molly, yeah.
Go to Starship Modeler, type in Raven Star Veldor. They still have the advertisement up for this thing. It says out of production. The head of it is 7 inches by itself.
Wow.
So as soon as I get the okay, I want to mold it, and I'll be putting them out for production again. So
That's really cool.
it's a heavy model. There's about, I think there's, let's see, grab one of the engines here. There's one of the engines for it. I said the engines are about a foot long.
Very nice. I like all the Romulan designs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bad looking ship. In Nemesis, when a thing pulls up in front of Picard in the D, you just know something ain't gonna happen. It's not good. But it turns out where it is actually a good thing. They end up helping Picard out, and it's cool. But they're in a short span of the movie, but it was a great looking ship, and somebody took the time and did it, and it was a short run on them. So luckily I got a hold of one. The guy actually bought it on eBay for, I'll tell you what he paid for it, but he paid $250 for it. And
Wow.
he was bidding
That's
against
not
me.
bad.
He was bidding against me on it, and I dropped out, and he won it. And I ended up building it for the guy.
Hey, you ended up getting it anyway, one way or another.
Exactly.
Well, when it's something you want really bad, money's no object.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the guy lives a town over from me.
Yeah.
So, goofy. But, yeah, that's what I got going on the bench. And got a lot of other stuff coming up, too. Believe it or not, I actually found someone that has a full 8-foot Enterprise A that they might want to get rid of.
Whoa.
Wow.
8
And
feet.
the saucer's 4 feet in diameter.
That has to be the time slip Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're looking at getting rid of it, and I'm thinking about. I got a buddy of mine that me and him might get together and buy the thing. So.
It's quite a beast, yeah. They've been putting that out one part at a time for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think they finally got the whole thing ready to go.
No, it's not ready yet, Boyd.
Oh.
They don't have the pylons and the neck. The dorsal's still not in production yet.
Oh, okay.
Last time I had an email from George about 3 weeks back or so.
Okay, because I've seen I was on there yesterday, today. They said it was ready to something was ready to ship, and wasn't too sure.
Well, he's shipping. You can buy the sub parts.
Oh, okay.
Everything. And that's why he's got a whole bunch of it ready to ship.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you order it, but not all the parts aren't finished yet.
Okay.
I know. I've been following along with that, and they had a little bit of trouble with the saucer. When they cast the upper and the lower halves, they found out they were off about a half an inch on the fit. So they were going back and doing some work on that. They had commissioned some artist guy, I don't remember his name, that was going to build up the first
2 of them
prototype. Yeah, 2 of them, I think. And when they mocked up the first saucer, they ran into an issue, and then they were the last blog that they put out, from what I remember, is what they said they were going to go back and work on that. But very impressive. It's considering that the original studio model cost around $300,000 to make, the price on that one is pretty darn reasonable.
What is the price?
An exact replica when you're done.
Complete kit is without a armature. He's got it. He told me he's expecting it to be at $6,000 plus shipping.
Wow, not bad.
What a bargain!
Yeah, like I said, compared to what they spent on the real one, though, I mean, if you're a serious Enterprise collector and your wife is really understanding,
or you're single,
yeah, you got a spare room to keep it in. The thing about that is you pretty much have to build it in the room that you're going to keep it in.
Well, luckily I'm good on all 3.
Unless you got really wide doors in your house. All right, Wally. Well, thanks for showing all that.
Oh, not a problem.
I'm going to show you what we had going on here tonight, guys. Let me get switched over to the other camera here real quick.
Ooh, a blue towel. That's a
blue
good job.
With a fancy stripe.
Bit of a delay
Yeah.
tonight. Earlier today, if you guys can see this, hopefully my camera's not too crappy tonight. This is the 1/1000 Polar Lights TOS Enterprise kit, and I'm building this up for Ralph so he can have it on display at the Jersey Fest show. So it was kind of a rush job. But I was talking with him earlier today, getting this board sorted out, and I'm going to fire it up here for you.
Oh, wow, there she goes.
You guys can see that. We got the spinning Bassards there with the counterclockwise and clockwise movement on those, and you've got this little momentary switch here where you can speed them up. Now they're going a little bit faster. This frame rate on the camera is probably not capturing it too well, but and you've got some light here at the top of the bridge.
Oh, very nice.
And you got the planetary sensor on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I haven't decided yet, but I might add a little something to this for Ralph here if I can. I'm thinking about lighting the impulse deck here on it too, but it's a solid piece, so I have to cut it out. I'm working on that. And I learned a few things about putting this together. I'm going to be making a YouTube video. I've been kind of documenting everything as I went along here. There's a certain way that you have to put this together. There's one thing about this kit that's really goofy, and it's the way that they have these pylons set up. You're supposed to snap these nacelles. Some of you guys out there may have built this kit. You're supposed to snap the nacelles onto the pylon. They kind of have a little hook thing at the top. And the problem with that is that when you hook it in there and snap it, the nacelles are not straight. The seam on the top should be at 12 o'clock position. Well, if you look at it, it's not. It's kind of in between 12 and 1 o'clock, and so your trenches on the inside are going to be crooked too. They're going to be facing upward a little bit. So the solution that I came up with to fix that is I just went ahead and shaved those hooks off of there and enlarged the holes just a little bit in the nacelle itself so that they'll just slide onto the tip of that pylon, and then you can tilt that and glue it in place and they'll sit perfectly centered. But you have to, the pylons themselves are, they're not hollow. So in order to pass the wiring through here, you have to hollow those out, make a little trench in the top and the bottom. And then an important step that I realized after I was working on this a little bit is that I had soldered the harnesses onto the board for the SARDs here. Well, they won't pass through the slot on the nacelle. The board itself won't go through there, so I had to unsolder it and run everything down through there and then have that as a unit and then build the secondary hull around it. But anyway, a couple things I figured out, and I'll make a YouTube video of that and kind of give everybody an idea of how that goes together. But I think it's a great little setup for a nice little small desktop model like this. Ralph, you did a great job on it. Once the Bassard domes are on there and frosted and everything, that effect is going to look really nice on there. Just about the same as your 350 scale version. So this is really, really cool.
Yeah, it came out really nice, the effect.
And I think it's kind of a miracle nowadays with what you guys can do with this electronics to get something that small in there, and really looks nice. So I'm going to switch the camera now real quick, guys, and take you over to the bench here and show you what else we've been doing. And let me see, I better switch the microphone too, or I'm going to wind up ripping my laptop off the bench here. All right, can you guys hear me through this mic?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you can. All right, I'm going to take you over here to the bench. And what we got going on here, guys, we've got we've been working on the back of the Reliant, and you can see that we've got the one of the hardest parts to do on this is the shuttle bay and all that photo etch stuff. This has all been puttied in and looks really nice. We've got these vents here on the sides all done. Just these little couple blobs of putty right here need to be sanded down, and it'll be all smoothed out and looking really good. And we've got a lot of the windows done on the Reliant. And here you can see we've got the engine nacelles all glued together, ready for their first coat of putty on the big 350. And that came out really good. We showed you the saucer earlier that Jeremy did that work on. And here we've got the Dune ship. And we've just got a couple of more of the window ports to cut into this, and then we're going to seal this up and start doing our painting on that. And Jeremy's anxious to get going on that. He wants to get priming and painting on that.
Wants to get paid.
So, things are looking really good on that. So we've got a lot going on, and then of course we're going to be finishing up the TOS here and getting that out to Ralph. So, yep, we've got a lot cooking here.
Much appreciated.
Get you guys set back up on the camera on the computer here. So that's what we got.
Good deal.
Busy little bees. And with that, guys, I'm going to open it up to here. And has anybody got any questions or anything they want to? I haven't seen anything come in on the Q&A, guys. Eric was here earlier and he was having computer trouble. I'm not sure if he's still here or not anymore. He said he wasn't getting any sound. And James Guard's out there. He says he's watching. But do you guys want to discuss anything or anything? Anybody want to bring anything up? We'll just kind of kick it around the room here.
Hey, Boyd, I
Yeah.
want to show you a picture, if I can do this.
Okay.
Do you see that picture?
Oh boy.
Sure
Oh,
can.
My wife got that and had it framed. It's in my office now.
That's really cool. That actually came with one of the model kits, Ralph.
That's right. I was talking with Jerry. Jerry, remember we were talking about those kits that my mother-in-law bought at a yard sale?
Oh yeah, that was in one of those.
She threw this poster in.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, that ship.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
There's one with a D as well.
Yeah, that's what I got. I just thought of that tonight. I had it. I sent it from my phone to my computer here so I could show you guys.
Oh, that's cool. I've got that same poster, Ralph. I think it came in my my old AMT Ertl Defiant kit.
Yep.
And then they also make one of the Enterprise D that I've got in another kit here somewhere, but I'm not sure how many of them they made, if they only did the D and the A, or if they did the Defiant as well. I can't remember.
Nice. Yeah, not
But
sure.
they're nice. Yeah, they're suitable for framing.
No, I've only seen the two, Boyd. The D and the A.
That's the only two they put out?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice, Ralph.
Hey, no problem.
There is a large poster out there somewhere that they made of the cutaway Enterprise refit that I'd like to get. I've seen some people had it.
Oh.
Anybody else have anything they want to kick around and talk about? Any questions or anything?
Well-
The Millennium Falcon and Armando's work they finished, was that from 5 molds?
The what?
The Millennium Falcon.
Uh-huh.
Was that from 5 molds?
Yes, it was. The 1/72nd scale.
1/72. Okay, I got a client that's looking for one.
Well, you tell him to get it while he can, Wally. They already, Bondi got the Star Wars license,
Yeah.
and Fine Molds is not making those kits anymore. They already quit selling them on their website, so the only ones that are out there are the ones that are on eBay again. Prices are going to start skyrocketing.
I checked last night and it said low stock, so it keeps switching back and forth between out of stock and low stock. I think they're running out.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten a few things from Hobby Link Japan, and even when it says out of stock or back order, usually 2-3 days later I'll get a bill to pay for it. So it won't hurt to just click it to see what will happen.
Well, right now they have a low stock because I just picked up 3 more of them. They're only down to, as of last night, Hobby Link Japan's removed everything but 5 fine mold Star Wars models. One of them being the pre-finished Falcon, which is a huge amount of money. So they only had 4 up there, and supposedly, as they're no longer available, Hobby Link's removing the listings completely. So if somebody wants what they've got, they better get it quick because it's not going to be around much longer.
Yep. I've got a question here that came in from Baba Ba. He's been on here a couple times with us. He's saying, Ralph, I want to get a board from you for my 1/1000 scale Enterprise refit. The blinker board. Does the board also have a connection for the lights that don't flash And can I blow up a board? Thanks. Hopefully you don't blow it up there, Baba. But go ahead, Ralph.
Well, I suppose we could use any of these boards to go into that as long as there's room. The refit, I don't have a refit to play with, but I think if the secondary hull is as large as the TOS, we can put the same type board that's in the TOS in there and get the same effects. Because we won't need any rotating buzzards on that.
I think there's a little bit more room in the saucer of the refit, the 1000 refit, Ralph, so you could actually put the board in the saucer on that one if you wanted to.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so we can, for sure, we can do the navs, the strobes. Well, with all those extra outputs, we can even do the impulse engine, I would assume. But something I haven't put into the works yet. We still got the Voyager to get to, the Defiant, the refit on the weapons. There's still a lot of things to get to, but yeah, that'd be something interesting we can do on the side.
Right. Yeah, and what a lot of people do there, Baba, is they get the just use the blinker board, so you got the navigation lights and the strobe lights, and then you're doing your own lighting on the for like the window lighting, and if you wanted to light the chiller grills and all that. A couple of guys have lit that model, and it turns out really nice lighted.
That's true. Good point. I mean, you don't have to, get the control to do everything. It's a lot of you guys are well versed at just doing interior lighting, so you can just use the 1000 -B board.
Yep, and that's really small, and I'm almost positive that that'll fit in the saucer of that model.
Yeah, that's got the terminal connections, so you just put the wires in and screw it down. So it's about almost a ½ inch tall. If that's too tall, we can use the board that we use on the TOS, which is even shorter in height because there aren't any terminal strips.
Right.
So we got a couple of options.
Or they can mount the board in the base too if they were, putting it on the base.
Yep, that's always a good choice.
Hope that helps you out there, Baba. And anybody have anything else? I don't see any other questions coming in.
I had a question, Boyd. It's like I'm at a point where I need to put. I have the multifunction board from Connect Controls, so I mean it doesn't seem like it's the right place to put that board in the saucer. I mean, would you just put it in the base and then route everything down through the base instead of bringing the board into the saucer? Like in your video, you have just the partial board in the saucer.
Yeah. So you have the all-in-one, the Combo D. Is that the one you have?
I actually just bought the most recent one, so I actually have the one after that. I forget.
That's the one you created, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, okay.
He's got the NCL.
So you mean you have the one that's it's the one that operates the deflector dish and it
yeah.
The warp engine?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty small. That'll fit in the saucer. I mean, but that's a debate that a lot of people have as far as I get asked that a lot on the channel about whether why don't you put the boards in the base, because if the board fails, you'll be able to fix it. But that's kind of neither here nor there. I mean, usually in my experience, that if a board burns out, for example, in a major catastrophe failure, it usually causes a short, and it'll take a few of the components out with it. For example, some of the LEDs that it's connected to up inside the model are probably going to burn out too if the board burns out.
Well, that's not what I'm terribly worried about. I was thinking about, okay, if the board that controls, like, let's say, engine lighting is in the saucer, that means I have to connect the wires to the to the board in the saucer, and then they're going to be sticking out until whenever I can get the thing onto the the main assembly. I mean, and you're never going to be able to get in there on that board if you didn't do it right. You're never going to be able to switch a wire around or something. So
right.
That's all I was worried about. That's all. I mean, it seems like probably it'll work just as well to keep it underneath on the base. Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
okay, I'm not going to worry too much about it then.
Yeah, I mean you're going to have to run wires, either down through the saucer and into it, or you're going to have to run them up through the base and into it. Either way, it's going to be about the same amount of distance. But yeah, I mean there's not a lot of room in the secondary hull on that model. If you use the kit supplied shuttle bay, that takes up almost the entire model between that and the arboretum. There's very little room to put any kind of a board in there. So that's why I kind of put all my boards up in the saucer. But like I said, my only reasoning for it was that if the board fails, it's going to take out a few LEDs, and then it kind of doesn't make any difference. You're going to have to take the model apart if you want to fix it anyway to fix the burned out LEDs. But people have asked me that a few times, and that's why I put them in the model instead of in the base.
The other thing, Boyd, you can mention is that, especially with that combo board, where it's doing the function of the shuttle bay, the landing lights. Okay, so you have 4 outputs there. If you put it, John, if you put everything in the base, just count the number of wires that you need to bring to the ship, and that will give you a good idea if you can accomplish that or not.
Yeah.
And that will drive you, which is because some people do those fancy connections on the rod, and you'd have to find a connector that has 8 pins or more.
Oh, okay.
All the different functions, unless you just get a hollow rod and able to run all the wires through.
Yeah, I was just thinking of running a pipe. I mean, basically a pipe, and then
right. Yeah, as long as you can run all those, you're talking. You got power, you got ground or minus. Let's call it minus. That's 2 of them. Then you got all those the nabs and the strobes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are we up to? 6.
I mean, then that's not a problem. But I was just thinking, I mean, if it's in here, I mean, then all those same wires have to come out through the neck at the, I mean,
right.
There's no free lunch.
Yeah, you're going to pay one way or the other. That is true.
And so what worried me was, I would finish the saucer, I'd have all that sealed up in there, and then I'd have this, ponytail of wires, and God help me if I ever, got one mixed up or one fell off or, something.
Yes, marking is indeed a critical step. Marking the wires.
And reading the instructions.
Yeah, and it's all. It has a lot to do with a lot of people find out when they're working on doing lighted models for the very first time is that the instructions for the building order of the model, you can basically throw them right out the window, because the order that you're being told to build the model from the instructions won't work when you're trying to do lighting. You've got to do certain components and put them together in order to route the wires through and do all the modifications, and it winds up a lot of times completely different than what the instructions say as far as building it. And like for me, what I do is I have the wires. I start off with wiring up my secondary hull, get the pylons done, and then the wire harnesses are coming out of my pylons, and the neck is down on top when I'm doing one of these 350s, whether it's the refit or the TOS. And then what I do is I put the bottom half of the saucer on first, so I have like a platform, and all my wires are up in there, and then I connect everything to the boards. Then I put the top saucer on and finish it off like that.
Okay.
But one thing that somebody suggested to me that after watching my last video, it does get a little bit rough with the model when you're sanding the edge of the saucer seam. I used epoxy on the neck and everything, so I knew it was going to be really strong. But a good idea that I'm probably going to do, that I got a suggestion from somebody out there, is next time is build a platform like a jig that will stabilize the entire model. And so when I start sanding on on the side of the saucer, you know, it's not going to wobble and shake around like it was. But that was a suggestion that somebody gave me. That's actually a really good idea.
That did
So,
scare me. I saw you do that.
yeah. It's built really strong. I used epoxy on everything, and I mean it was fine. But yeah, that's just another little thing. You know, you get tips all the time from different people, and that's what's so great about all this. And but yeah, I mean everybody has their own way too. Like I said, I like to do what I do is I have the you know, the lower half of the saucer there, and I have the pylons sticking up, so I put a towel over the pylons, and I just flop the, you know, the top half of the lid back like a lid that's open almost, and do all the wiring. You know, connect the upper wiring that goes from the upper part of the saucer to the lower, you know, for the nav lights and everything. When it's done, I can just flip it right down onto the bottom and glue it, and that's it. Because the pylons will actually kind of hold it right there, and you know, like a work platform, and you just flip it over and put it down. But let's see, I've got a couple more questions that are coming in here, guys. Let me see. I thought I saw a new one here. Okay, this one's from Michael Kovac. Hello, I'm working on the Mobius Seaview. Taking your lead, Boyd, on the lighting system using magnet wire for the final hookup to switches. Do I use 22 or 26 gauge strand wire to tie the magnet wire into? Yeah, I was just going to say, like when Ralph was talking about the wires going up inside the model, what I do is for the main power wires going in, I'll use like this stuff right here. They call it hookup wire, but I'm not even sure what gauge it is. It's probably like, what, 20 gauge, something like that. And for the main power coming in, I'll use that because, you know, you want it to be able to carry the load for everything that's hooked up. Magnet wire might be, in some cases, if you got a whole lot of lighting going on in there, it might be a little bit weak for carrying that much. And also I want it, you know, the main power wire to be a little bit flexible and everything like that. The other wires for like your momentary switches and all that coming out of there, they don't have any current going through them most of the time. They're just there for when you touch that switch to activate something. So magnet wire works good for that. But for the main power coming into the model, I like to use this like 20 gauge or 22 gauge or whatever. He says 26 gauge. That'd probably work okay too. But something that's got some shielding on it like that, a little bit thicker, so it doesn't happen to get chafed or something like that. And you know, you can fit that through on this refit, for example. I'm using a 1/4 inch brass tube to mount it, and that wire will pass through there along with several other of the, you know, magnet wires. I'm going to have a total of like I'm thinking about 8 to 10 wires coming out of there, because you've got the power wire for plus and minus, you've got the 2 different momentary switches, and then you've got the 2 wires coming down for the speaker for the photon effect out of the photon board that connects to the speaker that'll be in the base. So,
Right.
but that'll all fit in there, no problem. Okay, anything else anybody wants to bring up?
Nope.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Been working on a side project when we were talking about the need to have another Star Trek series back on the air, and been working on some video, but I'm not close to even being able to show that for a trailer. But I did work on the logo.
Ooh, huh. I like it already.
Yeah, the trailer's coming along. I mean, there's a ton of fan-made trailers out there, and I was actually surprised. I went and watched Tim Russ's all those little videos on the Renegades, Star Trek Renegades.
Yeah.
That they're doing, and looks pretty cool, actually. A lot of good stuff that I'm stealing.
Since the last time we talked, how many of you guys have finally gotten to see the the Star Trek Continues, the new Star Trek Continues episode.
Yeah, I watched. There's 3 of them, right? Just the 3.
Fairest of them all, the one that's the Mirror Universe episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a
Pretty good
cool
stuff.
episode.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you go through episode 1, 2, and 3. How much more he starts acting like Shatner.
Right. Yeah.
From the first one to the second one, and then the Mirror one, he's full on Shatner mode.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's got the body movement especially. He's got that
Yeah.
down pat. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the jerking down and the voice pauses. He's got it down pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Very
don't-
good.
Pretty good though.
Don't
I like the fact that they're bringing back some of the original series actors and having them in it. So they're kind of old, but they still get the job done. I thought all the people they've had on it so far, and seeing Lou Ferrigno as an alien was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've met Lou a couple of times. I've met Aaron Gray a couple of times too, and they mentioned Lou and everything, but they didn't say anything about Aaron. So when I was watching it and she was on the monitor from Starfleet, I'm like, holy crap, that's Aaron Gray.
Yep.
Hey, we always got Martians Attack SNG to look forward to, guys.
Yep. Yeah, I've been watching that too. That's going to be hilarious.
Ralph, Eric Hawkins is watching, and he says he will see if he can find. He thinks he has the Enterprise D poster, and I think he's saying he's going to send that one to you too, so you'll have the match set.
Oh, wow. That'd be awesome.
Got more space on the wall.
What a
Yes.
guy that Eric is.
I got a huge picture, an oil painting in my office that my wife didn't want at home, and I said, man, we paid a lot of money for this, so guess what? The last 10 years it's been in my office, so it could be retired.
You can't beat Elvis on Black Velvet. Come on.
No, it wasn't Elvis, man.
Oh. I thought everybody had one of those. They're really popular.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, while I got a minute here, guys, I'm going to mention really quick that starting this Saturday, a couple of things to announce. Starting this Saturday, the Hangouts, the Sci-Fi Model Action Hangouts are going to be moving. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. We're going to have them from now on at 2 o'clock Central Time on Saturday afternoons. And the reason that we're doing that is that we've had a lot of requests for some of the guys from the European modeling community to be able to join in. Obviously, the time that we have been doing it is way too late for them. They're 6 hours ahead of us in most cases. So that'll be right around 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday for them. So hopefully we can get some of those guys in. And I'm looking forward to that. And then Saturday nights at 7 o'clock, Jeremy and I are going to be out here in the shop working for an hour every Saturday. We're calling it the Model Shop Guys. We're going to be working out here live. And it's not going to be really a hangout. It's just going to be us broadcasting, but we're going to have the Q&A thing open. So if people are watching or whatever, they can write in, and if they have a question, maybe something they want to see or something demonstrated or something like that while we're working, we can do that for them. And that's going to be fun. We're just going to be kind of showing what's going on in the shop and what we're working on and all that. And that'll come over the TrekWorks YouTube channel as a live stream. So that's going to be pretty fun, and that's going to start this coming Saturday at 7 o'clock Central Time, and it'll be on for an hour. And it'll record it too, so if you don't get to see it live, you can go back and watch it later. But we're kind of looking forward to that. We'll be doing stuff in real time and just kind of working and stuff. And but hopefully you guys, the guys that have been making the regular hangouts here, can still make it on Saturday afternoons. I was kind of going back and forth as far as like when to have it, but there's other people. I know Chris and some of the other people out there do their hangouts on Sundays, so I didn't really want to try to do anything on Sunday and try to jam it in between everything. It seemed like Saturday was open, so that's what we decided to do. And we can probably, if it winds up where a lot of people can't make it or whatever, the regular people, then we might have to make a little adjustment on that, but we're going to try and roll with that for a little while.
Righty.
I think Saturday too would work.
Yeah, it's early in the afternoon, like, so if people are around or whatever, because I know a lot of people go out or do things on Saturday evenings, so hopefully we'll get it in early enough where most of the people can attend. So little change we got going on there.
I'm in.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be putting up the probably by tomorrow. I'll be probably putting up the the invite for it and everything, so you guys can look for that. And I just wanted to say, over at Sci-Fi Model Action, we're still rolling along on our Heroes build. There's quite a few guys involved in that. It's looking good. Armando already finished his. He did the Hulk build, which turned out beautiful. He was showing a little bit of that earlier tonight, but you can see some pictures of that over there, and you can check out his YouTube channel to see a nice video of that all finished up. Turned out really nice. And several of the other guys are making good progress on their builds too. I was hoping to get in on that, but I'm just too busy with other stuff. I wanted to get started on my Cylon Raider too, but I haven't been able to get to that one yet either.
Need to hire another person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get your own little sweatshop going there.
Well, Boyd, if I may, for just a moment, because I know Eric's watching.
Yes.
That little bead LED, as I said, I was going to power it up. Well, I got my wires crossed, got it worked out. I mean, this is the unit right here. And Eric, you need to get in touch with me, because I want to make sure if when you use these things, you use them correctly. Because if you put too much voltage to them, you could have a little heat problem. But if you're running them at 2.7 volts, I mean, these units get nice and bright, and you have hardly no heat off of them whatsoever. And these would probably do a really good job on the engine exhaust on the Vipers, as an example.
Yeah, looks
and very
plenty bright.
Yeah, it's plenty bright, and given the nature of the unit, it would definitely be very easy to install without any problems. Compared to soldering up a normal LED, this one with the two little pins coming off of it, very easy to quickly hit the contacts and put that in place with a nice flat back on it, where you can glue it in place. Now you don't want to run this at full power, because it would generate heat, and that would be a problem. But if you're running it up to 2.7 volts, it's nice and cool and gives you a lot of light.
Very nice.
So there you go, Eric, like I promised from last week.
I just wanted to mention real quick, everybody, that I lost his comment here now. Where's he at? Where'd he go? He ran away. Okay, Michael Kovac, if I'm saying your name, I hope I'm not destroying your name there, Mike, but I just want to say Mike says he's a new member at Sci-Fi Model Action, so everybody welcome Mike. And
hello, Mike.
He's going to be, like he mentioned, he's going to be building the Sea-View, and he says he's going to be posting some pictures on there. So we're glad to have you on board with us, Mike, and looking forward to seeing your posts over there. That's really cool.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm showing just about 10:15 here, guys. About ready to close things up. Anybody have anything else? Just want to remind everybody, the guys that were on here tonight, like Wally and Armando, Bob, Dave, they've all got YouTube channels, so hop by and check out their channels. You see some nice work going on there. And over on the TrekWorks channel, like I said, we're going to be we've got a lot of different stuff we're going to be working on here. And we're just going to be kind of wrapping up the Enterprise refit build series here pretty quick. My buddies Dave and Jerry there, they're just about finished up with the base. I believe the lower half of the base is already on its way. We should have it any day. And
Wednesday.
I know Jerry's working on the top, so I'll be finishing up these nacelles, and we'll show you the model getting mounted on the base, and that one will be a wrap. And then we're going to be showing a lot of other stuff. We got we got to get back to that De Boers Reliant too. We're talking to Elliot Brown over there. He's working on the photo etch parts for that one. People have been asking what happened to that one, so we'll get back on that one too. But that's all I got for tonight, guys. Anybody want to say any closing comments or anything? Otherwise, we're going to wrap this thing up.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Good.
Like butter.
Seam's all gone.
All right, guys. Well, I enjoyed having you on with us tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Hangout. Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
the questions and comments everybody sent in. Great work on your models tonight, guys. Thanks for sharing it with us, and we'll be looking forward to your updates this week on your YouTube channels and on the forums. So that's going to be a wrap, everybody. We're going to close this up with our usual comment here. Good night, John Boy.
Good night,
Good night, John Boy.
John Boy, wherever you are.
Good night, fellas.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.